With a lofty target of a phenomenal $10 million and a current annual $90 million, SpaceX is on an innovative mission to transform space travel. Where does this apparently miraculous change occur? Musk started the trip in 2010 by launching the $61 million Falcon 9 rocket. This was a game-changer since it cost only a tiny amount next to competitors like the $400 million per launch Delta IV Heavy. Success of Falcon 9 prepared the way ahead for SpaceX. Still, the cost for Falcon 9 had climbed to $67 million by 2022, casting doubt on Musk and his capacity to meet his aggressive target of a 99% launch cost decrease. Landing at an amazing 121 meters high when set on the SpaceX Super Heavy first stage booster, Enter Starship is the biggest rocket ever constructed. Originally conceived as a big rocket, meant to transport colonists to Mars, Starship is now a main part of SpaceX's plan to rule the space sector. But how can a rocket of such size and capability be 100 times cheaper than the rockets it aims to replace? A recent report from Payload Research dives deep into the numbers, breaking down the costs associated with building and launching Starship. Alone costing SpaceX a staggering $3 billion, the construction of the Starbase was their first major investment. Supporting the extensive infrastructure needed for Starship operations, including the enormous Mechazilla launch and landing tower that stacks Starship on the Super Heavy booster for launch and catches each segment upon landing, this facility is vital. Regarding Starship itself, SpaceX has already spent some $5 billion on research and development. Projected figures show total R&D expenditure could max almost $10 billion once tests go on. This number does not even cover the costs of constructing every individual Starship once commercial activities start. Early Starship prototypes, payload research projects, might have cost tags in the hundreds of millions. Still, the cost per flight is likely to drop markedly as SpaceX increases its operations and every Starship is flown several times. Once the R&D expenses are totally amortized, according to the report, Starship's construction costs would split into the following: structure, plumbing, tiles, parts, $13 million. Aircraft systems, $3 million. 39 million Raptor engines labor, $35 million. This raises the total input price to almost $90 million. Interestingly, Payload further breaks down these costs, attributing 70%, $63 million, to the Super Heavy booster and 30%, $27 million, to Starship itself. The main function of the Super Heavy is to transport several Starships into orbit, where they can function autonomously without need of boosters, so this differentiation is vital. SpaceX could only have to construct one Super Heavy booster for every 10 Starships once operations stabilize. The future of Starship expenses looks even better as one sees forward. Although SpaceX is committed to reducing the $2 million per cost of early Raptor engines down to just $250,000, this cut alone might slice off another $30 million from the total price, bringing the price per Starship down to $60 million. Furthermore, SpaceX intends to build a star factory meant to produce Starships and Super Heavy boosters in an assembly line mechanism. This strategy is projected to improve productivity and cut employment expenses by another $25 million each Starship. Using these developments, the estimated price of a Starship might fall to only $35 million. Boldly declaring that SpaceX's ultimate aim is Starship flying at just $10 million per trip, Musk has, although Payload's numbers might not meet that precise amount, they show that if Starship can be created for $35 million and if each Starship can fly 4 times, the average cost to SpaceX per flight could truly drop to $10 million. In the long term, the marginal cost to launch could fall much below $10 million if one Starship could fly 5 or more times before needing to be retired. For the sector where present rivals charge $100 million and more for comparable offerings, this is a game changer. Investors and the space industry could be significantly affected. SpaceX would be able to beat every other rocket provider in the world with an estimated cost of $10 million per flight. SpaceX can maintain great profit margins by means of this pricing flexibility that lets it bill anywhere from $20 million to $100 million per launch. The math is clear-cut. As SpaceX building Starships for $10 million per flight is set to rule the space launch industry for years to follow. The company's creative approaches and unceasing quest of efficiency place it as an industry leader, thereby changing commercial launches and space exploration's future. SpaceX is set to revolutionize the whole sector as the countdown to a new age in space travel starts. It is not just aiming for the stars. Thanks to SpaceX's groundbreaking work, the vision is obvious and the future of space travel is better than ever. As SpaceX's creative methods promise to fundamentally change the trajectory of space exploration and commercial launches, both enthusiasts and investors should closely follow the company. The path has just started, and the chances are unlimited.